Evening all. I hear there's a birthday wish that needs to be spoken about to a very wonderful heart person called Angela. So happy birthday. And I hope it was a very bright birthday, though having said that, it was a bit overcast in England, but I don't know how it was in your world. But inwardly, I know you always have a happy birthday, celebrating it every day. So, my lovelies, I am just looking at the messages. The topic for today is manifesting. And that can go towards your desires, your dreams, and even your creative discoveries. It can even be your life force. We all have the power to create. And I've spoken about this quite often, and I will continue to speak about it because it's really important to know that you can, instead of being a piece of creation, you can be a creator. Now, in order to manifest this, it's a switch of identification to begin with. And there are two aspects of life that I don't know if I think it's the challenge. Some of us know it, some of us are in the process of being swept along. And those two forces basically are survival and expansion. There is this call to us to be boundless, but at the same time, we want security. And it's from a creative point of view that I've always talked about, of bringing in the highest of what we are and our forms being created from that impulse, that intention. You need a structure, you need a form. But there's this challenge that a lot of people in our world, feeling unsafe, fearful, being raised to think you need a house, you need safety, don't be courageous to live, you have to control things. And that can really create a prison. And I certainly know that with COVID, there's a lot of that going on right now. And on a deeper impulse, I think we're having to face our nature of wanting to be boundless. And it's finding this balance between your survival, protection, structure, and the boundless aspect of our nature. Because, you might have a dream that, I wish I had a house with 2 bedrooms. And then life would give it to you. And at that point you think, well, actually I wish I had a castle. And then if you get a castle, you might look up at the stars and think, I wouldn't mind being in that space station. And it goes on. Because no matter what structure you have, you still will be called by the boundless side of your nature. It's really like balancing a lot of balls in the air and bringing them down. And I certainly have mentioned in the creative aspect of my training different words, but it's the same thing of finding harmony in the marriage of the invisible and the visible. And we can say that it's finding the balance between our need for a structure of security and our boundless nature. Some people think, forget that structure stuff. I'm getting a caravan. I'm going out into the desert and I don't need any structure. I don't need any of those things. I just want to be me. We all have our different ways of dealing with that. It's quite something. And you know, we are what we think. But I'm sure a lot of people think, nah, that's a load of hippie rubbish. I even said that to myself. You know, I've gone through years of working with the power of the mind. And you know, I'm still discovering new things that inhibit that from happening. You know, we have been programmed with so many blocks. And it's a matter of learning to be observant and see if you can catch them. And I'll mention a few of them in a minute because I want to see your messages. So hang on a minute. Hi, Laurie, Richard and Stefan and Angela, Isabel, Verpy. So happy to see you. Antonio. And I just want to see what Verpy was just saying. Hi, Erica. Verpy's asked, what instinct is the one that tries to protect yourself from insults and humiliation? Some kind of self-protection. I think mine is broken. It is very strong, but I kind of end up hurting myself before anyone else does. Well, being a very sensitive person that was experienced a lot of this hurting thing, even from a look. And I've learned that it's a matter of identification. The more that you touch your higher self into the reality of this physical universe, the less those things will hurt you. Because your main reality, as I said, will be from a place that doesn't exist. And then you find, what is it in this life that I have to do in order to radiate that? That becomes, well, certainly with me, has become my profession. And Verpy, you're a very sensitive heart. And I will always encourage you to find that place of safety. You know, sometimes if your identification isn't with the higher self of who you are, or as we said last week, the penthouse, if you're not, depending on what level you're at in the building, that represents your journey to the highest of who you are, then you'll be in a way looking for the hurt. You'll be putting up a structure, not a structure that supports the highest of who you are, but a structure that is based on fear of getting hurt. And I know that one. And if you want to truly fly, which I know you're a wonderful bird, waiting to spread her wings, you'll do it. You just have to maybe look at some of the programming that you accepted, and most of us have quite a program that's been laid on us from 0 to 7, and then it's just built up over our lives. But we can do it. We can release them. So Erica, what is she saying? There's always seems to be some negative about everything these days. You can't have anything without either feeling guilty or feeling like you need more. Well, I don't think we've been raised to think that we can manifest our desires and dreams. In fact, we're here to do such a thing, but we've been programmed not to, that you can't. I mean, we have these blocks that are inherited, that love is the root of all evil, or money is the root of all evil, prosperity. So long as people are suffering and starving, you can't be prosperous. The world's not a safe place. It's like, why am I broke? Why don't I get supported? Why can't I manifest my dreams? And then sometimes what blocks it is that you were abandoned. You feel unworthy, or you take it to the other extreme, is I don't need that. You have a spiritual belief, and I've known a lot of groups that money is, not a good thing. And then you get stuck. Well, not everyone gets stuck. But if this is based on an inner program of limitation, of fear, when you start to want to manifest who or what you want to be, to live, then it can get a little bit sticky, and then if it doesn't happen, then you get even more unhappy. It's like there's something funny with our technological age. It's like everything can, well, if you want this or you want that, we can have this and we can have that, but it's all superficial. And and then the education system is all based on memorizing stuff. And we don't get to the core of who we are and how to really live the basics of what life is. And I don't know about you, but if I really look at it, the one thing I really would love to have is joy, and we do want safety, want lots of hugs and love and care and be happy and dance and things. I think that's the root, and we can do that. But particularly the Western culture doesn't promote that. They want us out there consuming. And I love going shopping, I have to say. And it's but it's a matter of knowing, being really clear about your intention. Let me see what everyone else is sharing. Hi, Abida. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you for being here. Lori said, kill your TV. Hippies got that right. to a degree, it was like a symbol at that time, because we knew that there was a big distraction. And it's just picked up speed, I have to say. And I don't know what people would do during COVID without their telly and Netflix and Amazon, but the main thing is coming to discovering who we really are. And I certainly have benefited in a lot of ways that I can spend a lot of time meditating and not being distracted, though I have been watching a few Netflix series and Amazon. There's a really great one on Leonardo da Vinci that I really love. I suppose in the past we would have gone to the library and dug out a book to discover his life, and who knows if it was totally true. Erica, I find that hurting others before they can hurt me is a thing I do without realizing. Yeah. When, Erica, you actually switch your identification from thinking that you've been hurt to knowing that there's this wonderful love within you that doesn't hurt, that doesn't go away, and is here to support you, then that'll probably change. I should imagine you probably feel guilty about that, and that has to go too, because I'm sure there's a good reason why that was built up that will be easy to shift. And yes, as Bill, we are definitely our thoughts. What we don't realize is that there's good thoughts that will help you to manifest. And that's one of the first things that you have to do, is organize your mind on all levels. And it's not from the mental level necessarily when we say mind. It's actually that there are levels of our physical, our emotional, our mental, our energetic levels that need to be stabilized. Because most of us have the monkey mind, that we're jumping. And I certainly have it with art. Oh, I've got that over there. I want to do that. And oh no, I should finish that one. And oh, maybe I should go out for a walk. Or it jumps backwards and forwards. And the thing about manifesting, you have to learn to hold the focus. How long can you hold one thought? Can you do 5 minutes? Because it will be important, because that means you're the controller. But we're either jumping around like a monkey in our minds, or we're, as well as, we're, how can I say this? Right. We have an image of what we think life should be and who we are. We got so much spin going around in our lives, so much conditioning about the false self, that we believe that's true. And we sort of do copies. And you create an image of what you want to be, but somehow it becomes a false image. And that doesn't mean the same thing as if you're creating, manifesting the desire of who you want to be, but it's being really clear about it and stick to it, commit to it. Most people have attention deficit because we haven't been trained to really go to the truth of who we are. And all of our technology was supposedly bringing us light and ability to have travel and do all kinds of things, but this It's like your GPS. It's a wonderful thing, and I wouldn't be without it. But when it first came out, I discovered what started happening is I stopped observing where I was driving. So if the GPS broke down, I wouldn't know how to get back. But in the past, before GPS, I remember everything, where I was. So now I try to be in two worlds. I have the GPS, but I'm watching where I'm driving. And even so far as I might be listening to something on the radio while I'm driving, I don't even see the trees that I've just passed. It's quite an art to balance this. So, lovely people. Juliet said, "Oh my gosh, what you're saying completely resonates with me. You've helped me so much with my mindset and the way I think, Ginger." Hi Donald, glad you got here. You've had a bad migraine. Oh, sorry about that. Rebecca says, "My thoughts are also so dark right now. Fear of the unknown is my biggest one, and now I have to hurry up and wait for answers from a doctor after doctor, and I have no idea what is wrong or any control over it, and I need to figure out how to find some peace in all this. My two least favorite things are no control and not knowing what's coming." I am sure that that is a big challenge for you. And to have COVID on top of it. They say that there is no challenge that isn't here to help us grow. And some of them can be pretty intense. Rebecca, I will be happy to do a stabilizing morning visualization for you. I have a list of various people that I do that for. And tonight, I want to take you on a transforming visualization, a journey that you might be able to use each day for yourself. I know that you in the past, all of you, love doing this, so maybe we should do that now. What do you think? I'll just check a few more comments. Lori, the Four Noble Truths are a lot for direction, helps with deprogramming and refocusing, re-identification. Yeah. The clearing, but you need to know that there's something of a greater nature, because sometimes it will freak people out because they'll think, oh my God, there's nothing. But the deprogramming slowly comes because you're identifying with something else of a high nature that is so giving and certain and really you that no one can take away. And that's the deprogramming starts coming as a result of that, in my experience. Burpee says she's taking a course provided by the local mental health association at the moment. It is called Experience Expert Course. It is helpful for me, and the aim is that I can tell my life story someday, that it will be helpful for others to understand things like depression and anxiety. You'll be a walking truth. It's like we radiate an energy. And when you reach that point that you're talking about, you will radiate, and your wings will be there. I know it's true. Every one of us. We're in the awakening phase. Let me see what's happening here. Donald, hi. Burpee suffers from migraines as well. I know. I have never had one, but I have known people that have, and it's really painful. Karen, the show is just called Leonardo, and it's actually on Amazon Prime. And I think I have to watch it again because I watched it within 3 days. It was so inspirational. For me, it certainly reconfirmed how one has to be committed to your art, to the art of living. As I was saying earlier, when you decide, I am not going to listen to all that negative program, or I'm going to do something to straighten it out, you're committed. And you know, you could do something when commitment is really important, and being able to focus your direction. Yeah. I know, no offense to being an American, but I certainly had a huge desires, and I would jump around. And there's an example that I wanted to learn marquetry. So I got some books. I got the layers of wood that you use, and I read it all, and I started to learn it. And there was something in me, the moment I knew that I could finish this, I didn't finish it. I was a monkey mind about these things. But after a while I learned that I need to learn how to focus and commit and go through it and finish it, bring it into the earth plane. And one of the biggest experiences for me in that was that I did a charity concert for Lily Cornford Mental Color Therapy at Westminster Central Hall. It was a really big project, and I worked with a film director, Nigel Gordon, and every day we would sit down and we would make a list of what would be on the stage first, what sound, what light. I had to hold such a focus, and there was a moment I thought, this is beyond me, what in the world am I doing? But I made it through. And every painting, almost every sculpture, most of the time, 90% of the time, I make sure that I go through the process of finishing it. And there are moments when it's cat's meat, and there are moments in my life that the day is cat's meat. But more and more, the more I know there's this beautiful place inside myself that has to work through the challenges of living, but that gets me through the challenges of living. Yes, Richard, there is a lot of peer pressure, and it's a challenge and an opportunity to learn to work from that point of identification of all potential and possibilities of what life is. Smile, and sometimes you have to go to work and smile. But it's easier to do that once you have that connection. But we're all raised with, because we're social beings in a lot of ways, and you want to be accepted. But I think the time has come that we have to change that. And the only way it changes, it starts with you, and then you radiate it out. Hang on a minute. No, Rebecca, it's not Da Vinci's demons, but I'm sure he had them. This one's just called Leonardo, and they just showed how much he stuck and committed to what he felt he had to do as an artist. And he got into a lot of problems because the royalty just played a lot of games that hired him, because at that time you needed a sponsor. In fact, we still as artists need a sponsor. So Verpi says she recognizes the jumping of the mind and also the false patterns of the mind that come from early school bullying. Yeah, I bet. And that has reflected all my human relationships too. I'm worse than others or less than others because I'm different, highly sensitive, that's for sure. I've always lived in my own world, and I've found human relationships and communication in this world a bit difficult and consuming for me. But I'm working on it all the time. I'm a great social anxiety peer support group, for example. It's very helpful. It is important. And it's important to have a vision of possibilities that will transform, and you need to be able to share and not feel guilty, and also have this vision that takes you to see who you really are. And many of us have to learn how to be a sensitive person in this world out there and not be crushed, not feel guilty, not think it's wrong, because it isn't weakness. It's a strength. And the world will be beautified more once the sensitive people gain strength. That's my personal feeling. Juliet, it's so wonderful to know you all and watch your journey, share your journey, in fact. Juliet's been on a learning curve this past year, have learned to accept things, be happy with what I have, yet still do all I can to be the best I can be and to keep learning. My new, shiny, positive mindset is reaping amazing things. It's incredible. I see myself emerging little by little. There are ups and downs, but I now try to think that it's okay. I will deal with those pesky downs. I would recommend that you see those pesky downs actually revealing something to you of what you might have to let go or what you need to focus on. And always know that it's there to help you be that vision of that wonderful person that you feel in your heart. And it isn't something that you have to do, because it's there. I suppose if there's such a thing as a doing, it's removing the blocks, the veils that are in the way. And I find now that just creating, even as down to picking flowers in the field and putting them in a vase in the kitchen, it's all the same thing. It's bringing beauty alive, appreciating, being one with nature. That's where the balance is. And sometimes, just like with nature, there's storms. And we have to learn to work within that. And the way you do it is know that there's this great part of who you are is there. Just to be. Well, I hope you enjoy, Leonardo. Yes, Verpi, I see you as this beautiful person who has the trait of the high sensitivity. Anyway, why don't we do this visualized journey for the moment? Okay, I'm just going to switch a few things that before I do that, I want you to sit quietly and have your body comfortable and yet not slumped, and close your eyes and feel your breath gently going in and going out. How was that, people? Did you hear the visualization? I hope so. Was there no sound through the whole thing? Oh my God. Well, once again, technology. Oh my God. Well, I'm glad you liked the flower. Well, it was not meant to be, I suppose. Oh my goodness. Well, it was a lovely visualization that was supposed to clear a lot of energy. Yeah. Okay, what to do? You can hear me now. Hi, Tim. All right. You know what? We still have tons of time. I think it's important that we go through this without the flower. And yes, silence has been amazing. Like one of my Being Creative live, I didn't have any sound and you guys stuck with it through the whole thing. And I have to say, energetically, while I was doing this visualization with you, it got very calm. Things just shifted in the energy body. So I think we're going to do it again. But no flowers, and I know that you're hearing me here. So let's do it again. Okay, people, make yourself comfortable and close your eyes. Be still. Allow your breath to gently wash throughout your body. Visualize there's a white orb just below your navel. It's gently turning, going round and round, getting brighter and brighter and brighter. Imagine you are sitting within a white, pale pink ocean of light. And all the cells in your body open and allow this ocean of white pink light to enter. Relaxing, calming. Now I want you to visualize this white orb traveling up through your body and slowly out the top of your body and being one with the ocean of soft, white, pink light. And bring it down into your head gently. And relax the muscles in your brain, in your eyes, in your ears. Relax your nerves. And repeat the words. Clear away all stress, lack, and limiting beliefs from my mind. Allow the energy of the light to fill and cleanse, dissolving all limited beliefs and blocks from all time, space, and dimension realities. Now move this orb into your heart center. And say, clear away all loss and hurt throughout all time, space, dimension realities. Allow the light to fill your heart with love and compassion. Once again, move the orb to your solar plexus and say, clear away all fear and self-doubt. Throughout all time, space, dimension realities. I am courageous. From there, come down to your stomach. And clear away all feelings of powerlessness throughout all time, space, dimension realities. I am strong. I am safe. I am me. Take this orb of light to your hips and your legs. I can go forward step by step. Take the orb to your feet. Establish grounding with the earth and take it into the earth. And feel the love of a mother filling you, filling the orb as you take it back up through your body, cleansing, nurturing, your whole being is one with the ocean of light and the earth. Now is the time to create a new image that you will focus on and integrate into your life. Keep it to yourself and let it grow. And in your time, open your eyes and come back to this room. You're welcome, Angela. I'm very happy, Rebecca, that you'll be able to sleep. Now, there's one thing that I'd like to suggest. You can say, if you're committed to that image that came to you, every time you get up in the morning, you can say this invocation. Today, wherever I go, whatever I do, I will create a loving, joyful world. Today, wherever I go, whatever I do, I will create a loving, joyful world. What we're really working on, as I said earlier, instead of being a piece of creation, we are a co-creator. We have that strength, that creative ability within. So, my dear fellows and ladies, thank you for coming. And you could go and do the replay as often as you like. That's what's great about replays, especially with visualizations and things. So I think it's time that please let me know how you get on. If you need me, message me, and we're taking this process together. And in the words of the lyrics of my son's songs, so long. Yeah. Anyway, my dear, it's always difficult to disconnect from a wonderful evening. I feel like we're all building a community of hearts. So it's time to go. Good night. Lost track of time. Have a lovely week. Hope to see you Friday.